Hey guys, by now you've probably figured out we are talking about faith and how to focus that faith. Our memory verse, Hebrews 11:1, says faith is being sure of what we hope for. It is being sure of what we do not see. Now, I want to share with you, these are opera glasses. And they're kind of modern opera glasses. And now by modern, I mean, I'd have to look this up. They're old. And I know they're old because they were my grandfather's. But they're still pretty new compared to the idea of opera. Now, if you wanted to go to the opera, this is back before TVs, before movie theaters, we had theaters. And you would dress up. Maybe too sparkly. Let's see here, maybe, because, there we go. If you were going to go out, you knew you were going to be seen. And they wanted to make a good impression. So they would dress up and they would get their best dress on. Excuse me, there's a little itch right there. They would get their makeup done. This is not something you guys see very often because Miss Elizabeth does not wear makeup. They would get their hair done. What is even fancy styles these days? I'll have to Google that. Not so fancy. We'll just leave it down for now. I'll think about that later. But they would get all dressed up because they knew people would be looking at them. And they wanted to be as fancy as they could. Going to the theater was a big thing. Now, today you can go to the theater and not get dressed up, which to me feels a little bit sad. I like getting dressed up. I like having fun with it, but I also understand that not everybody is able to dress up. Not everybody has good dress-up clothes. So by forcing theater only to be dress up, you're also forcing a lot of people not to have that experience. Anyhow, back to the opera glasses. Even the best seats were often a little further from the stage. And opera or ballet or the theater, Shakespeare, some of the old poetry, a lot of it was displayed by language. But we all know, well, it's something that we figure out as we go along, what you say and how you say it are often very different. So their opera glasses would help them zoom in. I need to focus. And be able to see maybe the details of the costumes that they're wearing. I think you're too close for me to focus on. You're still kind of blurry. To see the expression of the artists, the actors, and, well, actors that were on stage, actresses later in history. And a chance to show off yet one more piece of fancy accessory. This one, it's pretty simple. It's just black and plain. I told you it was my grandfather's. But a fancy lady would have hers covered maybe like mother of pearl or some gold inlay. Very fancy. But they help you take a closer look. Now that's going to be a smaller look because you're backwards from that way. What if I turn it around for you? Can I do that? No, because you're not focusing on anything. Woo! Yeah, that's not going to work so much. You're still just as blurry as I was. Oh, but I can see you now, super tiny. Anyhow, take a closer look. Things aren't always as they seem. A fancy lady could dress up and look very nice, very neat, but still have a not nice heart inside. And most people would catch on. It's one thing to dress up and pretend, play princesses or whatever, but it's hard to pretend to be something you're not. Who you are, what you believe in your heart will eventually show. So if I was a fancy lady in 1870, I would have my hair all done up with curls and ribbons and pearls, I'm sure. I would have my fancy dress on with a long train and my bustle back there. I would get out from my carriage and be very graceful. But if I treat the people that are helping me poorly, or I yell at them, maybe because I trip or I get my shoe muddy, that's going to show that my heart needs a lot more work. So taking a closer look could be about your faith, could be taking a closer look inside, not focusing on the outside, making sure your outside is fancy and impressive, but making sure your heart is loving, kind, generous, forgiving. Faith is what we hope for. It's what we can't see. But you can show a lot of your faith by how you act. Take a closer look this week. See if you can show some of what is inside to those around you. And take a closer look to the feelings and emotions going on in your family. Maybe have a dress-up night. Everybody in your family get all dressed up, jazzed out, and have dinner together. Make a night of it. You're stuck at home in quarantine. Might as well have some fun with it, right? I'll see you guys later. Bye.